Cards, another tough, frustrating night, especially when the goal scoring's concerned.
Yeah, well, I thought we started well. I thought for the first 15-20 minutes we had good control, good spells. But one thing which I was looking at before the game was, I think they've conceded 6 away from home in 10. And on tonight's performance, you can see why. The defenders know how to defend. They clear it big, they put it in areas, they put it behind you to stretch the game because they've got runners. And they do the basics really well. And that's what we don't, or we didn't tonight, definitely. As you say, I felt we started well. We started quite bright without really being too threatening, but we had a lot of good play. Made some good openings, forced a couple of corners. But we're obviously we're toothless, aren't we? At the minute, we've put a couple of shots together, a couple of blocked efforts in the second half, but it's just not happening. Certainly in the final third, and we said that you could have changed 4 forwards, but we're just not. We're neat and tidy enough without being creative, and that's. We say it all the time. I've said it all the time. Said it for a long time now. It's things that we need to. We're definitely working on them. There's no doubt about that. But we're just not asking enough questions. Like I said, they're putting balls into areas that are causing us, our centre halves, to run towards our goal. And tonight, I don't think their 2 centre halves ever faced their own goal once. I thought they were very good, the 2 centre halves for them.
Because defensively, I think they really only had that 1 shot on goal in the first half, and then they had another one down middle of save in the second half. They only had 2 shots on goal. So defensively and in midfield, to a point, you've got it sus, but it's just going into that final third. Is it now becoming an issue that the players are aware of it? Obviously, you've gone so long without scoring an open play. Do you feel like that's having a factor on it maybe as well?
Yeah, and I think, it's like anything, confidence is a big thing. And, speaking with the staff there and saying, their forwards or their wide players were still chasing. And when you're top of the league and you're winning the way they are and the 1-0 up, they're going to do that because you're confident, you want to maintain that. When you're struggling like we are, it's easy to. We have a shot that Bobby Jones spills, and our lads are already making their way back instead of following it in, and that is a mindset of not being proactive and not being forward thinking. You're already thinking defensively, you're already thinking about dropping into your slot and into your shape again, and that does creep in. And obviously the time we haven't scored a goal, it is a factor.
I mean, what can you do to try and find that cutting edge and find a goal? You almost need one to just bouncing off someone's backside of the corner or something. That's what
you're saying, and we're working on things. We're working on set pieces. We're working on movement patterns to try and get us in those areas where we can hurt. But I think at times we're trying to be too nice and too precise. Our centre halves, I feel, are passing it to each other too much. I think their centre halves probably played it to each other 2 or 3 times. They get it forward, and that's not to say they launch it and just shell it up the pitch. They put it into areas that hurt you, and then they've got legs and quality in areas that make it count. At the minute, we seem to be a little bit in between, because we're certainly not giving the front lads enough supply, and when we do get it up there, are we doing enough to make opportunities become chances and chances become goals, which we're not.
Do you feel like the centre forward, obviously Connor tonight, do you feel they're a little bit isolated at the moment, whoever plays up there?
Yeah, I mean, it can be that way, but I think there's factors in that as well. I said to Connor, not digging anyone out. we're in it together, and that's how it's got to be. But I said to Connor, if you know, because he had a lot of times where he had the ball, but it's just about setting it and building a player game from the next line up. And at times he's trying, but sometimes he's trying too hard in the wrong areas, which he ends up drawing players to him, so he looks more isolated than he is, instead of just a little layoff and then going and getting it again up the pitch. But you know, you can pick holes in it. Ultimately tonight, I don't think there's loads in the game at all, but we've fell short again.
Connor came off towards the end. Before it looked like a dead leg at first, but he seemed to still be hobbling quite a bit afterwards.
I think he's all right. I think it's just a bit of impact. He'll probably feel it tomorrow, and but I think it was impact from the challenge down here. I haven't seen him, to be honest. He went in with the physio, so but I think it was just impact.
Obviously, you know, it's never nice for fans to sort of come and watch the team continue to not score goals, and obviously they'll be frustrated at that, as frustrated as you are, no doubt. What would your message be to them? I mean, you mentioned sort of we're in it together in terms of the players, but that stretch to the fans as well.
Of course, you know, I said it when I came in. You know, I think when I came in, we had a point a game. I think we're a point a game now. It's never nice and it's never easy, and it's not something I've been used to, certainly as manager here in the past, where we're not a team who scores goals and we're not a team who plays attacking football. But obviously the higher levels you go up, you know, the calibre of player needed to be just that is obviously got to be better. I mean, you look at their front line, there's two players who are here, you know, who contribute massively to a side that's top of the league. So when you lose those type of players, it is hard to replace. And I know B's tried in the summer, and it's not as easy as people think, or as people want it to be. But we have to. You asked me the question, what's the message? It's always that. Stick together, whether we're flying in the league or whether we're struggling in the league. Whatever it is, you know, we'll never get anywhere unless we're, you know, together. That's a fact.
Yeah, you got to Peterborough on Saturday. It's a team that you're in and around. You don't want to use the term must win, especially at this game of the season. But is it a game that you need to take something from? Do you feel? We've
got to take something from every game. You know, there's no two ways about it. I mean, we played top of the league tonight, and you'd say, you know, like James said before, they had a couple of chances, scored one from a corner, which is a poor goal from our point of view. But other than that, is there loads between us? I'd say confidence, know-how, and probably a little bit more resilience. I think we're a little bit, I won't say weak, but I'll say, you know, we're a little bit below par at the minute. And if a couple of us are off colour, we can't afford it. We need everybody. We need 11 performances, game in, game out in this division, because like I said before, it's a real tough division.